Hey guys, Crispy here. Gonna do a review for the movie Skinamarink. It's directed by Kyle Edward Ball. It just came out this past weekend. I saw it at the Nishinami 24 in Bensalem, PA. And I'm gonna tell you, I had an experience in this movie. It's not necessary. Like some people might watch this movie and say this is not a movie. I would say kind of sure. This is an experimental movie, and it is an experience to behold. If you're absolutely a fan of cinema, but if you're just a person that wants a traditional horror movie or something different, right, but not something that's way out of the ordinary, this movie is not for you. This is not something that I'll recommend to you. But if you are into just like experiencing new things and seeing something that's interesting, you might be like caught attention. You might catch attention to this movie and just be like, oh, that's interesting. It's fine. For me, personally, I'm like half and half with this movie because I love it for what this director did. Kyle, he did an amazing job with the edit, with how he placed his shots, with how he told his story in this movie. And there is a story, even though it's not explained. And I'll go through the story. I'll run it by to you. The synopsis in the internet from wherever I go, whether it's Letterboxd or IMDb, I see that the movie says it's about two children who just kind of sit down, watch television, and then later on they get to see that the windows and the doors on their houses has vanished, like it's gone, and there's like an entity like telling them to go upstairs, and that's the movie. That's how they teased it, and I kind of like that concept. So I went to go see it, and then when I went to see this movie, all I saw for an hour and 40 minutes, a little under 2 hours, was just still frame, just shots of like a fucking floor, right? For like a minute or a minute and 30 seconds, nothing happening, and then maybe if it's like a shot of a quilt, it just sort of moves like after a minute, and then it still stays there, and then sound starts happening. You might hear like a shriek in the distance, or you might hear a demonic sound in the background, like something like that, and it's just like really weird, and it's like that for about an hour and 40 minutes. And they have a lot of imagery in this movie. They have a lot of, like I said, sound. It's really just sights and sound that's really played with this movie. It's very experimental. It's really immersive as well. That's only if you allow yourself to be, and if you don't fall asleep, because this movie is really fucking slow. It's so slow. It's snail pace slow. It's one of the slowest movies I've ever seen. The only reason I say it's one of and not the most is because I've seen movies like Santantanango, like Bellatar movies and shit like that, and they're like 7 hours long. I've seen silent movies sometimes that I feel don't go any fucking where. So this movie doesn't take the cake for that, but it definitely takes the cake for this year. I'll say it's probably gonna be the slowest movie that come out this year, or even like any other year, because that's what it is. But at the same time, I found it so interesting, and it's because this director did such a good job in making you guess what the fuck is going on. Like, what is happening? Not with the movie itself. Like, why is this happening? Like, because people are going to ask that when they watch this movie. It's like, why is this happening? Why am I just watching shots of things? It's like I'm looking at a fucking desktop screensaver. Like, people are going to feel like that. But I felt like when they were doing shots like that, I was already getting like, all right, this is a haunted house movie. And what I got from this is a haunted house movie. It's shot in like a 16 millimeter camera, it seems, or at least a film camera of some sort, and it's actually like signifying the perspective of the children or the evil entity that is in this house. And since this is a haunted house movie, I feel like this isn't a movie where it's happening at that time, even though this movie is set in 1995. I think what it's doing, it's trying to give you the perspective of a haunted entity, like a haunted presence, and it's trying to make you experience that and see the nightmare that is beholding itself to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're looking at an absolute fucking nightmare in this movie. And think about it. Like, if someone killed you, like, and let's say you're superstitious and you believe in ghosts, like, what the fuck is it to be a ghost? And I think this movie does the best interpretation I've ever seen in a movie into what it's like to be a ghost, I guess. Like, because all the characters that are in this movie, they're not necessarily shot like face, like by the face. Like, you don't get to see their face. It's all the body. Like, you just see the body. and that's it. You don't see anything, and you don't even see the torso. You actually see the feet, because they're little children, like mostly that are being subjected into this movie. And I'm not gonna say that in a negative way, because this movie doesn't do anything that is negatively, like, that's doing anything in a negative way. Well, it's a horror movie, but still, like, it's not trying to be gratuitous or disgusting or anything like that. It's actually just trying to give you a little hints and backdrops, and trying to, like, make you guess what's happening. And my guess is that all these people that are subjects in this movie, they're all dead. They're all dead. They have died a long time ago, and the way that it signifies it for me is that you don't see their face. You see their lower body, and a lot of it is just these very still shots of things. And I feel like the movie itself is trying to remember something, or actually try to get a little bit of feeling of the life that they had. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't know what the fuck it is. It doesn't know where it is. It only knows that it had something. It had a mom, it had a dad, it had a sister, it had Kyle, it had Kaylee or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, these, and think of those names, like Kyle, Kaylee, like it's all very vague. And there is a scene in this movie that really interested me, and it's like in the mid part of the movie. The entity tells the child to go upstairs, and the child goes upstairs, and then there's the father in the bed, and you don't see the father's face, but you hear him go, "Look under the bed." And then the girl looks under the bed, and she's like, I don't see anything. And it's like I said, this movie's slow. Looks under the bed, nothing happening, goes back up, then it's her fucking mom. And then, like, basically, the dialogue that's happening in this movie, it's giving you hints as to what happened in that house. And it's creepy. And it's like, it could be scary for people, especially, it just depends on the mood that you're in. And I wouldn't say that this is like a traditional Halloween movie that you put on and watch with your friends and have a good time. It's not that at all. It is actually an experience to behold, and just put in your own interpretation on what happened. And I give a lot of kudos to this director, because he made this movie. He decided that it would be a good idea to put it in a wide release. And I think it's because of his passion in experimental cinema, and it's really a great thing that a movie like this is out in a wide, seemingly, like, not a wide release, but it's actually in 2 theaters in my location. It's at the King of Prussia, and it's at the Machinima. For all I know, I don't think it's at I don't think it's in Center City, but yeah, it's just nice. It's nice that a movie like this is out. But it's not something that I would recommend to people. For me personally, it was a very interesting experience. It was a good experience too, because I at least got something out of it. I've watched movies, actually, I got a movie that I'm gonna review soon that I watched that I was just like, this movie sucks. But this one, man, I'm gonna say, for my own personal opinion, it doesn't suck. But I'm definitely gonna hear from other people that this movie is complete dog shit, and I understand. That's how you feel. This director, he has a YouTube channel. This is Kyle Edward Ball, and he has a YouTube channel called Bite Size Nightmares, and he has a movie in it called Heck. And Heck, SKINAMARINK is based on Heck. And yeah, it's on his YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link on it in the description, and you should check it out. You should check out this man's channel. His goal, he's been doing this for 5 years, it seems, because that's how I saw along the videos were here, like 5 to 6 years. And he has just been making these movies, and I think he's been trying to recreate people's nightmares and put it on YouTube. And it is all just kind of compiled and just became this movie that we know now, that's in theaters, called SKINAMARINK. And I would say, if you want to get a little bit of taste of how this dude does his movies, go see the YouTube channel. If you like what you see, watch the movie. I'm going to give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. I really want to see what this guy's going to do next. I really want him to just, like, expand more into doing more movies. If he wants to do more stuff like this, more power to him. Tell me what you think about the movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you afraid? Were you not? Like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Love you guys.